So I decided I would just do my face in a real fast video and then focus on doing a fun eye look to finish this look out. So this is just my normal base face. This is kind of what I do. I kept my blush lighter because I didn't know what I was exactly going to do with my eye look or my lips. So a good neutral, light pinky brown. I used, at first I put on toasted rose, but my toasted rose is about gone. So I opened up chocolate cherry. I never tried this before, and I think it might be a new neutral favorite blush. It's just a very subtle blush, and I really like that. So let's get started into these motorcycles. I don't know if y'all can hear them. We're going up and down this street today, and they're being crazy, and they're driving me nuts. But anyway, I want to do a fun like New Year's Eve look, I thought. And we're going into 2020, so I thought it would be a great time to do kind of a retro, very classic smoky eye with a bold red lip. That was kind of one of the staples of the 1920s. In fact, women would use charcoal, like actual charcoal, to put dark on their lids. And then they would have their red lipsticks, which was very popular with that era. So I thought we would do that, even though it's not really going to match my clothes, and I am going for Christmas dinner with my family tonight. Yeah, so they're going to get to see me with a glam smoky eye and red lips, so this might be fun. I may take off the red lips before I go over there. As always, I start with a layer of Candlelight Shadow Scents as my primer. I've already filled in my brows with Brow Scents, and like I said, I've already done like foundation and blush and contouring and all that. So, I'm going to start, because of my eye shape, I don't like anything, I don't know. Usually I don't like anything dark all the way across my lid. I have done a look like that where it was onyx, like, all the way across. And it wasn't bad. I actually kind of liked it. But I think I might do the classic lighter in the corner, out to dark on the outer corner. So we are going to start with Silver Shimmer, which is this gorgeous silver shimmery color. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put that on all over my lid with just a Real Techniques base shadow brush. Should be a little more prepared. So it didn't take a whole lot. For you all, I would just take this wand and apply it directly to your lid if that's your color. You'll see me plate most of my colors just because of sharing. Like, is that not the most pigmented, beautiful silver like you've ever seen? I didn't do a transition color. Maybe I should have done a transition color. Okay, so I'm going to bring that all the way up to the crease, but not really a whole lot above it. We're doing that all over the lid. Let me go back and do a transition. And I'm kind of doing this pat and swipe motion, kind of patting on the color and then swiping it just to blend it a little bit. If you get it too far down, just take your finger, fix that. What's great about these cream shadows is you don't get the fallout like you do with the powder. So when you're doing this motion, you get all that flaky powder like down here. This, if you're doing it, you're just putting your brush down too low. So you can just fix that. And you can also come back with your concealer brush that you used earlier and just clean those lines up. And you can wait till the end to do that. Trying to decide. I think I am going to go ahead and do the silver because I have plenty on my palette in the corner, just a touch, for my inner corner highlight. Always take your finger and blend it out a little bit. So I am going to come in, I think I'm going to use Smoked Topaz, which is this great taupey gray neutral color. But you know, back in the 20s, they wouldn't have really used transition colors. Oh well, we're doing it anyway. This is a modern day. And I am going to just take a big fluffy brush like that, dip that down into my color, and then I'm going to take it on the back of my hand and just tap it out a little bit just to make sure there's not too much color. You can even kind of swirl it and like pre-blend what you're going to be blending in the crease, because I don't want it too dark, especially since we didn't put it on first. But my big old brow bones need a transition color because the space from the bottom of my brow to my crease is big. So that's what really helps my eyes, this part of my eye not look so big. So we're going to go ahead and come on up with that, and we'll fix the silver in a minute. I hope everybody's had great holidays so far. Sorry, I should put a new do not disturb on it. Just canceled it out. But we're doing still the Smoked Topaz in the crease. Has everybody had a good holiday? I hope you have. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Okay, so because we kind of messed up our silver just a touch, we're going to come back in with that silver brush and go up to the crease again. Yeah. And clean up that outer V. I am going to take a smaller brush, just this little bitty definer brush, detail brush. This is the Morphe M326, and dip into this Smoked Topaz and line my bottom lashes with it. I just feel like I got a lash in my eye. Dee-dee-dee-doo. Okay, so there we go with that. Can y'all see that mirror? Is it like in the way? Okay. Anyway, now once that is dry, I'm just making sure, like patting it down with my finger, making sure it's dry, kind of blended down. Now we are going in with our darkest color, with our onyx. I'm gonna plate that. So this is a fairly new onyx, so it's pretty wet, but that's okay. And then we're gonna take a fluffy brush again. This is almost worn off. It's a Sigma E40, paper blending E40. I like this one, and I really like the E35 too. They're very similar. But whenever I use my dark colors, I like to use my dark bristles. For the most part, they're not stained, and I've used dark colors on them. I just think, oh, what if one of these times I stain those brushes? And Sigma brushes aren't cheap, so I like to use the dark bristles with my dark. Same thing, I'm going to tap it out. Even though I'm really going to build up this dark on the outer corner, I just don't want, I'd rather build up my color slowly than add too much and try to blend it down. You know, I should have used a different brush. In fact, I'm going to change brushes. We're going to sort of kind of wipe this one off. And I'm going to switch to the Firm Blender, the E44, just because it's a smaller, more denser brush. And I'm going to keep this in a V, so I want a little bit smaller. Because we're going in this one to the lash line, for me up on my brow bone, and just a little in the crease. So this is just that classic outer V dark color. And I'm kind of packing it, and then again doing a little sweeping motion to blend it. And then I'm going to take, because I dusted off this brush and just kind of got where there's no product left, I'm going to use that to blend. I don't want a super harsh line, even though back in the 1920s they wouldn't have had all these blending brushes. But I'm just doing little circles, a little back and forth motion, just to blend it out a little bit. And don't worry, we'll clean up this line. Switching back over to the blending. See how that just lightens it up and blends those colors together. So I think I'm going to go back just a little more and keep it closer in. And I'm going to let it dry just a second before blending it, because I don't want to take off any of the color payoff of it. I just want to smooth some of that harsh line of it. So with SeneGence, you have a minute to play with it. To get a real blended look, you want to go as fast as possible. But if you're going to do a darker color and then you're just wanting to blend out those edges, let it dry for just a second, and then you can blend out those edges. Like I said, you're not wanting to take off that color payoff. I really need to clean my mirror. Like, I'm trying to bounce around fingerprints from this mirror, which makes it hard to do. So we just got an even darker to lighter gradient when you let that dry just a bit. Okay, so I actually think I don't want to go any darker because this is a little out of my comfort zone. We are going to come in and put just a little bit of concealer on this palette. And I'm going to use just a little flat brush and clean up that outer corner. To give us that nice crisp edge. I like to go in with my original brush and sweep up. And that helps, like if there was a mixture of the concealer with that dark and it kind of had the little gradient there, that helps crisp it up even more. Okay, so for a little brow bone highlight, again, another phone call. Should have, I hope, I don't know, I won't know what parts get cut out until I go back to edit this, so we're just going to jump in. Part of me wants to use silver shimmer as a brow highlight, but part of me is like, ooh, that's a lot of silver on the lid. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the silver shimmer, and I am going to tone it down with, what can I do? Maybe like Whisper Pink. Would that be bad? I don't know. We're going to try it. We're going to see. Whisper Pink is just a really light pinky color. And again, I think I'm going to use just this same brush that I used for my concealer. I'm just going to wipe it off. I have a gazillion in one of these, but no sense in cleaning more brushes than I have to. Just so this isn't so silvery was my thinking. I can't talk. So this is a little just gray, but not so. There we go. Yeah, that's better. It's still gray, but it is not so shimmery. And then just with my finger, I'm going to blend that out. Yeah. That works, that works. So I would say that's probably equal parts of Whisper Pink and Silver Shimmer. And I'm just kind of using it to clean up my brow too. Ooh, that might have been a lot. Ooh. This look is definitely going to need some lashes. You cannot do a bold eye like this and hardly not do eyelashes. I am also going to put a little more on my brows. I did the Brow Sense, the dark Brow Sense, but I also like to take Rustic Brown Shadow Sense. And this is just going to help me clean up my brows. Give them a little more finished look. It helps warm my brows up a little bit. Just to make them even more full. I just like the look of that better versus that. This is a little more natural, but when I'm doing a big glam look, this is how I leave it every day, but a little more glam look, I really like to put in more brow filler. And remember, your brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins, which is good because men are not twins at all. This one, I've been trying to fill in my brows, grow in my brows thicker for a while, and I have these bald patches under here, which is what the LipSense is perfect for. If you have a bald patch in your brows, you need the LipSense. It is absolutely perfect for filling in brows. I think it's a highly underrated product with our company. It's got the little spoolie. It's got basically kind of the same formula as LipSense. And this comes in 4 different colors. It comes in the dark, which I use. It comes in auburn, light, and taupe. Blondes, dirty blondes, you can do the light or the taupe. Dark brunette, stuff like that, you can use the taupe. Redheads obviously go with the auburn. My dark-headed people go with the dark. Because brows can be different than your hair color, if that makes sense. A lot of like kind of warmer blondes, I feel like can go a whole lot more colors of the LipSense selection, which just isn't fair. I couldn't use light. Light wouldn't like do anything for me, but I get some blondes that can use kind of everything, which is great for you all. Okay, so we have most definitely got to put on some eyeliner, or this look is going to look, I don't even know what, but we are going to take that same little brush that I used for doing the smoked topaz, and there's a little bit of onyx left on my palette here. And we are going to line just the bottom, like third of my lash line with the onyx. Just kind of come in. You see it just creates one line up there. And I just like using SeneGence. I use the liner on my bottom lashes a lot. The pencil liner. I don't like using the liquid liner on my bottom lashes. I don't know. I just can't do it. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. But for a look like this, especially when you've used onyx already, just use that onyx for your eyeliner. Actually, I use onyx for eyeliner a lot too. It just depends on what mood I'm in. And then just where the smoked topaz meets the onyx, I just take my finger and kind of smudge it just a little bit just to smoke it out. But I almost think I removed too much. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this brush is doing a fine job of smoking it out. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, eyeliner. We are going in with our black liquid liner. It is wonderful, but I'm not the greatest at it yet. I'm still practicing because I've always been a pencil girl. Then I switched to the onyx eyeliner, and I would just use a angled brush and the onyx SeneGence, which I loved. Liquid liner is a new game to me. I feel like, I'm feeling like this right here isn't as blended. Sorry. It's just like I look in the mirror and it looks. Does it look weird to you all? Like, is it just me? These eyes don't match. Anyway. So we are going to line with the liquid liner. You know what I mean? I also feel like every time that I get a call, my phone tilts or something weird. I guess maybe since it's vibrating, I'm like, wait a minute, it's crooked. Anyway, Black Essence, the liquid liner. So I'm going to apply some lashes and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so lashes are on. I use these, a friend gave them. They are some, I think kind of some generic, I've never heard of these before. Dysilk, D-Y-S-I-L-K lashes. They're all the same. They're pretty long and wispy. They're really, like, the weight of them is not bad at all. They are super long though, like bandwidth. I don't usually have to trim much off my lashes, and this inner corner is somewhat, but I really think for probably a decent price, these might be some beginner lashes for you to try out. Again, these are the 004 is the number on these. Or come here and borrow a pair, because there's like 7 pair in there, and I don't know if I will use them. Probably some of my favorite affordable lashes are the Ardell. I started to put these on. Double Up Wispies. You can get these. This was a 4-pack. You can get them on Amazon, Walmart, Sally's Beauty Supply. A lot of places has these Ardell brand, but I really like the Double Up Wispies. Is my favorite style of those. I've had several. The Remy ones are pretty good too, but really like the Double Up Wispies. But this does complete the eye look. Like, those are pretty bam lashes. So yeah, I'd be ready for New Year's Eve. But we still have lips to do. As always, you start with clean and dry lips. So I'm gonna clean that off a little bit. So hey guys, after I got a little busy and a little crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't film an outro for this makeup look. So here I am at home in my very crappy lighting. I have 2 light bulbs out. The other bulbs are like real yellow. And don't ever paint your bathroom green if you want good lighting in your bathroom. And also, I started even taking off my lashes, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that one's coming up at the corner, but it's because I started ripping it off. So yeah, this is my kind of sort of finished look here. I used Ruby Red LipSense topped with Glossy Gloss. It is a very pretty color. Like, it's just a little bit pinky red, but a very rich metallic-y red. It's very pretty, perfect for the holiday season, for Christmas parties that you've got left, New Year's Eve. And then we did the traditional smoky eye. Again, we did silver shimmer, smoked topaz in our crease, and this is a build-up gradient of onyx. And then the highlight color was a mixture of whisper pink and silver shimmer. And then I did use just a touch of a powder highlight at the top of my cheekbones, tip of my nose, right there at the top of my lips kind of thing. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this video, and it's crazy. And this one I didn't get stuck down very good. We're just gonna take it off. And I'm going to fix my eyeliner before, because now we have to go to Christmas dinner with my in-laws, and I'm looking a little crazy like this. Just go ahead and take that one off. Ooh, look a little crazy now. So if you are not a lash person, let's just go over this. If you are not a lash person and you're like, I would love to do that look, but there's no way I'm going to put on lashes, I would highly recommend you do the 2-step process with the SeneGence mascara, which is first you do a real nice thick coat of the 3-in-1 lash primer, and then you do a couple of coats of a waterproof black mascara, and that's the primer builds up your lashes, and then you coat and build up even more with the black mascara. I personally, for day-to-day use, I like the non-waterproof mascara, but waterproof is going to get you farther on a night like New Year's Eve or something like that, where you're going out all night. So yeah, sorry that this ending is all shaky and crazy, and I hope everybody, like I said, had a great holiday and has a very happy New Year.